Ecovillage, Ecovillage.
Bafut is made up of 54 communities, and in these 54 communities there's several quarters where people are living in different sectors, and in one community there are about 7 different small quarters and sub-sectors. So then community becomes a very wide concept, and it feels like already a globe in Bafut. And so in my mind, the way I see it is that Bafut as itself, as a subdivision, is already a community, yet there's so much diversity existing in these different communities, and the need with the concept of community is to explore these different diversities that are existing in the 54 communities, and to see what is it that is growing in these different communities, and how can we bring that and nurture the land, the people, the environment, and bring economy to this, to what is happening where in the different communities.
Eco-village is defined as an intentional community where people decide that they want to live their own way. They have a cause they want to defend. And so in Bafut we have chosen to restore our heritage of ecological building and to restore our food sovereignty, because the Bafut people used to live on their local staple, which is achu, made of local ingredients, and all these ingredients are dying out. So we need to resolve these issues for the Bafut people to feel themselves again, and to feel their spirit of community, and to feel that they are living in communion with their ancestors. And of course, this is where I come from, and so I had a very enabling environment in Bafut to do this project, and partners were ready to support the obtention of a land trust. This portion which we are constructing, the Eco-Village Demonstration Center, is actually a land trust which is set aside purposely for permaculture practice. Yes, so there is some guarantee. I humbly put before them what I have dreamt of, and see if we can come up with a community resilience plan for Bafut.
We started as a community working here voluntarily, and this idea about Eco-Village came up, and we were volunteering together as a community. Then we formed a group as women, the Eco Women, and we were working here on the site. And as time goes on, I was so interested in the vision of the Eco-Village, and now applied to become a volunteer here, and my application was granted. That's how I started working here.
And that if we achieve that there is now availability of water, we achieve technology for agriculture and for ecological building, we achieve all the renewable energies in all the 54 villages, that there are demonstration centers like this. The goal is to have in every village a demonstration center like this, with training of trainers using this same platform of EDE, Eco-Village Design Education, and Dragon Training, to then spread the training of trainers. Then the whole village will become sustainable by 2020. This is my humble dream.
To make up the different demonstration sites, I would think that the components of each demonstration site would be ecological building examples and permaculture farming. Perhaps water collection systems, things like that added to that solar technology. In Bafut, we have materials like stone, earth, raffia, grass that people have always used for building, and they know how to use them. So what we're doing here is to put together modern technologies, understanding of building with the traditional methods. We make better foundations, perhaps. We build a stronger root structure. We're using cement in small doses where it's useful. But otherwise, we are really trying to integrate the traditional methods and the traditional look with the modern realities and needs of space. I believe that when we show people that there's a future with using these materials and building with them, that then young people will be more interested again in taking up the craft. People's faces really light up when they see nicely done earthen building. That has been a strong response in the cabins or the meeting hall. So we've been introducing beautiful natural plasters, for example, with the women in the village. They have learned how to do it, and we keep including them into the next building projects.
I've learned so much in the group, and through the trainings we have acquired knowledge. One on the plastering, how we can use the natural method to do plastering, and like the bottles that we just use them around and throw them. I never knew that they were so useful that we could use it to, bring in light and ventilation in the house. And which is, to me, if you cannot afford the louvers, you can use your bottle and it's okay, and it's very strong and solid. That is economical.
Besides the volunteers from the village and the women's group, we're also working with our international volunteers that come in through Better World Cameroon.
My name is Niba Ernest. I was attracted because I saw the Ecovillage green buildings, which constitute of much of what I do, and I thought sharing my idea here could help cooperate with Better World and the Ecovillage. Then we could maybe come up with something that can be useful for the green building. I get into the bush and I look at the raffia that is already matured, which means drying up already. You see it dry on the raffia palm. Then I go get a machete and cut it. Because the full length of the bamboo is about 15 meters, but we cannot use all. The bottom and the top parts are always cut and thrown out. Sometimes we carry the whole long piece and bring home. If the bush is nearer, if it's not, we cut them to favorable lengths. Then we can use a bike or a pickup, but most often we use bikes to cut them home. When in the workshop, we send them up into the ceiling and leave fire under to season them properly in the rainy season. If it's in the dry season, we leave them out in the sun to season nicely. Then we can now cut, split, and scrape, start assembling these two pieces. Fasten them together, we quickly size them to the accurate size, respecting the square, then produce dowels out of the same material, out of the raffia. You could see some demonstration of sharpening them. Then we add on glue to join them together, and we hit them with the hammer, and that is solid. We make sure it is straight, and maybe using a spirit level sometimes to have it really straight. Bamboo ceiling is more suitable for the room, for our houses, especially here in the cold area, because it controls the temperature of the room. As it has some foam in it. I don't know how I describe the soft part. It absorbs heat when it's hot in the day, and at night it releases it.
Cooking is one of those everyday activities where a small change can really have a big impact, I think. So if we can take the smoke out of the kitchen, improve people's health that way, and also save firewood, this is a development of a simple technology that can have an impact everywhere. Learn together and practice together how to build stoves. Some of you have done a little bit, some of you have done more, and so together we can find out what really is going to work. That's right. Same size all the way out. It has to stay the same size. It cannot get smaller, and it should not get bigger either. So we always make this, and the bottom up and down is the same size. So it goes in, over, and up. Same size. You can use maybe the width for the yeah. And so
it has a lot of change because one, the fuel that we used to use, the quantity has reduced, and there are so many times that, especially with my mother, she used to cook in the kitchen in the night. But where our stove is now, we now prepare food in the house. It's so comfortable because we don't have smoke, and life is so easy. We can sit as a family while we are conversing and we are preparing food. So it's so interesting. And not only how it is helpful to me, but many others who have come and see the function of the stove they are really coming in for so they are requesting. So it's not something that is saving me, but it's saving the community, because we are about to go out and construct some also in some of our women who are in the group also, so that through that, if somebody comes in and the person sees it and is really working, the person will love it and ask who are the people doing that, because our idea is not to limit it around us, but to take it out widely so that it can save us income generation.
At Ndani for Permaculture Ecovillage, we chose solar power to supply electricity to our buildings. Local technicians came and installed the system, and we are learning to manage it appropriately. This is the last component of systems that we were needing in order to be ready for the EDE.
Good morning, Abella. Bafut for you, I go spend on my dollar.
In 2016, the first Ecovillage Design Education under the Global Ecovillage Network brought together young Cameroonians to plan their future as active citizens.
So we could say we have the 4 dimensions and the path at the center, which is whole systems design. And in each of the dimensions, we have the different building blocks of ecovillages.
So what's happened in Jen is that we have all these communities around the world that self-started, and we have networks growing from that. And from that we've learned what are the best practices, and we've put together an education, which is called the Ecovillage Design Education. And this is the course that we've brought here to Bafut. People from different villages live together for 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks in doing this course. They actually build community. They do what they're learning. So it's a very experiential training and a basis for network building.
We're trying to set up a greenhouse. Right now we're putting down the framework and setting up the structure before we come in with the plastic mesh and the plastic.
We are about feeding in the substrate into the non-mist propagator. And first we have to lay a layer of sand so as to protect the paper which we are going to place right at the bottom, because it is going to carry a water reserve. So if we don't put this sand and we start coming in with stones, concrete and sand, it will be heavy, and if there's any particle of gravel under here, we'll perforate the plastic and the water will all leach out.
To start using the bamboo, it's very useful to produce a kitchen chair, a kitchen stool. That also builds up some practical, because there we don't have too much complication, and we learn to cut, to split, and to join bamboos together. It is a very simple stool, but it has almost every knowledge about managing the bamboo.
Minimize how important it is for you to intentionally design your own path, intentionally design your own life. So today what I just wanted to let us know is that we are important, because your life has a purpose. Your story is very important, your dream counts, your voice matters, and you were born to create an impact. And
this kind of education, which is hands-on and it is sustainable, because it is based on designing sustainable projects, based on the principles of permaculture, and based on what we call adaptive governance. So people can actually participate in the future that they want. So yes, we can do it, and we are doing it. It's the same when the experts who come here with their knowledge, be them in permaculture, be them in ecological building, be them the dragon dreaming, which is really a way of opening the minds of designing projects which are sustainable, and actually celebrating the success.
So I guess an intention is to create a learning journey for people to become dragon dreaming trainers, and to be able to really use the tools for their project in a good way, and support each other in doing that, so that there is slowly, as it has been in other places already, all over the world, that slowly a group or community of practitioners and trainers is formed in Cameroon.
It actually goes really well, then I can go into implementation. Okay, then I really go for it. Then we really set that up.
Please.
then the look of the bamboo is attractive, is natural. That is the color is the most suitable that reflects to everything.
Nature.
Children.
Once think of the market, now the product. How do we develop that product? It is very important. And everything that goes into developing the product. I would talk a lot here.
The one that I'm really intending to work on more is the craft project. The idea is to use art and craft as a tool of reconnection with culture.
Yes, I studied agriculture and livestock, and when I left school, that's the first part of my education. I was only focused on producing as much as I could, but now I'm beginning to see it in a different way, and not just producing, but producing with sustainability. And so with everything that I've learned, I think it's really going to help me in my agriculture, not only in my agriculture but in my other projects, especially music and things that I like. So it's just going to build me up. So it's really been a holistic training. Yeah, so more conscious and mindful.
The strong instinct I'm getting from this course is really having good tools to help work towards sustainable development, how to develop good community projects, and how to bring people together around all the resources in order to make use of them to the benefit of each and every member of the community for sustainable development, as we are saying.
Yeah, this is Okongobong fruited pumpkin. Still have nest here to transplant it. So on the other side there's lettuce, there's tomatoes, pepper. We have cucumber.
Greenhouse, you use less space to cultivate more, and the quality too is also very high. You can use this greenhouse can give you close to about 230 kilograms of cucumbers, but if you do it outdoor, you may not have that same quantity with the same space.
Since this is dry season now, and I'm preparing the farm for the next planting season. So what I'm doing now is I'm harvesting the food and then the wheat. I allow it for sun, and I use it now as compost in the ridge so I can enrich the soil.
Decompose grass, dry grass. You have poultry droppings, fowl droppings, or any organic manure. You have wood ash. And for fresh grass, I prefer we use the leaves of acacia, which is one of the trees promoted by Trees for the Future as one of the agroforestry plants which are very rich in nitrogen production. So when we compose with this one now, the percentage of nitrogen is going to be higher than what you could have used the ordinary fresh leaves. So in the place of fresh leaves, we will be using these acacia leaves. So the first step, look at the scion. The scion which we grafted to the rootstock has now picked up.
I'm learning it, and since the HBAP program is out to work with all the Bafut communities who are involved in the product that we have identified as of high value, now I know very well how I can now approach them and bring everybody to be part of the project. And you know, we are out to create a cooperative, a fair trade cooperative where win-win is the principle.
I just harvested it from the farm yesterday. I clean it and wash and boiled. Then this morning I'm trying to put it into little pieces so that it can get dry quickly. Yes, when it will get dry, then I will transform it into powder and put into packages.
It's really encouraging what we're seeing here in Bafut. The Mayor Langs has got a real vision for 2020 for improving the whole natural, social, cultural environment of Bafut. And it's really encouraging to see that and to understand it better. Small things, practical things, such as even here at the Ecovillage and the way in which they're reaching out to the local community, the way in which they are concerned about the waste management in the future, and just the different things that they're doing here is really very encouraging. I think that Bafut Ecovillage is a shining example for other villages all across Africa to show really what can be done, how that can be done.
That the kind of hospitality we have been trained here to present facts to people, the kind of leadership skill, I think is going to create a different picture in the community, because many people are like hostile, proud. When they want to say something, they say, oh, you must take to what we want. But now if we are like approaching the people, that what do you think we can work together with and we grow? That can be a different sense that can maybe move people towards this Eco 2020 vision.
You're so nice, fine, and natural. Nabila, Babila, you're my young